Hello and welcome to my channel On the Hook Crochet, where we talk about wearable crochet style. And today we are looking at several things, so I want to find out what's been on the hook. So I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy Monday. And if you had a great weekend, great. If you didn't, try to have a great one next weekend. This is a channel where we talk about crochet. We also talk a little bit about diamond painting, paint by number, some other things too, but it's primarily about crochet and about wearable crochet, where we talk about making sweaters and tops, hats, cowls, things that you wear. And I always model my own patterns. I show you how in the pattern to size the pattern to yourself and to make it fit you the first time. I do give a lot of detail in my patterns. A lot of them are 12, 14 pages long, but I consider that important when you're trying to talk to someone about making your particular design. That is the focus of my pattern shop, to help you make the top or the sweater that you selected fit you. And they're also made for beginners and advanced beginners. They are not difficult patterns to make. I try to make them as easy as possible so that you can be successful when you make one of my designs. So all that said, I wanted to talk about what I'm wearing today. I pulled this out of my closet this morning. I have not worn the easy Tweedy Sweater in a long time. I made this originally out of Stylecraft Tweedy, T-W-E-E-D-Y. I'll put the name right here. It's acrylic and cotton, 74 acrylic, 26% cotton. And it's very, very light. I like the fabric that it made, but unfortunately, I went out to find some Tweedy and it wasn't available anymore. I do love the way it color pools. This is sort of like a green and a blue. I'll get up here where you can see it. It has a little bit of green and some blue color pooling in it with some white mixed in. It's very beautiful. I like this particular yarn, but it does not exist anymore. As far as I know, you might find some on eBay. I don't know. But I made this by the Easy Tweedy Sweater pattern. It was one of my very first patterns that I put out on my Etsy shop, and I really enjoyed making it because it's a little different from my others. It has a collar. I don't know if you can see that, but it has a collar on the back of the sweater. It doesn't come all the way down the front, but I started about halfway up and I made a small collar. You can make this collar as large as you want. You can just add rows to it. If you want a big floppy collar, you can do that. Or if you want to bring it down a little farther, you can certainly do that. But I thought that right about here was a good place to start. And then it just gives you kind of a back collar so that it brings the sweater up in the back. It looks very, very nice, a little more dressy than some of my other patterns. Now, the sleeves are about halfway down the top of my arm here, and that's a good length for me. And when I pulled this out of my closet this morning, I thought this is the perfect sleeve length for me. Now on you measure that and you decide how long you're going to make your sleeve. But this turned out to be a very, very good length for summer. It's not too long down here to my elbow, and it's not too short like a cap sleeve. And I don't look all that great in cap sleeves anymore, and some of y'all may be in that same boat. Some of you may have gorgeous arms, but I know that when I make something, I want to be able to wear it. I want to wear it. So I make it so that it will probably look good most of the time when I put it on. So I'll stand up and model this for you. This is a little bit longer than waist length. I guess it's probably about mid hip length right there. I'll let you see the back. This is the back. It's a pretty good length for me too as well. 1 each inch on each side of each piece of fabric gives it 4 inches of ease, and it's the perfect, just kind of a fitted sweater pattern. It's not too tight. It doesn't cling, but it is a nice width of sweater if you're not making a boxy sweater. Not all sweaters should be boxy. All right, I'm back, and what I wanted to tell you about this Easy Tweedy Sweater, I've only made it once, so I'm going to make it again. And I found some yarn in my stash that I actually bought to make this, and it's been probably 6 months ago. I think I talked about it on my channel, but this is Drifter by King Cole. Love this yarn. I've made something else out of it, but I can't remember what it was. But I did use this drifter yarn, and I bought some more of it. This is the colorway in Michigan, is the colorway. They're all named after states, different colorways. This is blue and brown and white. And I thought with jeans or a jean skirt, that would be so pretty in a sweater. And it's an easy Tweedy sweater. So I'm going to make this sweater out of this. This is a double knit or DK, so it's a size 3 yarn. And it's perfect for this pattern. So I'm going to make this pattern from this drifter. I bought 4 balls of this. Each ball has 329 yards on it, so that's ample. That's, you know, 1,400, 1,300 yards that I have to make this. So I have plenty to make this easy Tweedy sweater from. So I'm going to try to start that maybe this week. I love to, as the knitters call, cast on. I love to chain up a new project. I love new projects, and I have to be careful not to start too many. I have quite a few already, but that's just the way it goes. So I wanted to talk about what I'm wearing today, and that is the easy Tweedy sweater. And I'll put the pattern link down in the description box, and also a link to an Etsy shop, not affiliated, but a link to an Etsy shop that carries this King Cole yarn. It's $6 a ball, which isn't too bad. You probably only need maybe 3 balls of it. I guess I would order 4. Knowing me, I always order 1 extra ball just to be sure I don't have to play yarn chicken. But I will put a link to the Etsy shop down in the description box who carries this yarn, and they have a lot of colors. They may carry all the colors, I don't know. But I went right to it today, and I thought, you know, I'm going to put that link in my video so that if you're interested in using this drifter yarn by King Cole, you can find that yarn at this particular Etsy shop location. Now, let me tell you what's in here. This is 25% cotton, 6% wool, and 69% acrylic. So it's mostly acrylic and cotton with a little wool thrown in, and it really is very, very soft. I like this yarn. Like I said, I made something out of it before and really liked it. So I bought some more, and this is the colorway, again, Michigan. So if you're interested in that, but there are lots of other colorways on that Etsy shop. And you can also Google King Cole drifter yarn, and several sites come up. But the Love Crafts site where I bought this originally, not this, but yeah, I think I bought this there. They don't even carry it anymore. I think they have 1 or 2 colors left. And there might be 10 or 15 colors of this that are available, so they're not really carrying it anymore. So try that Etsy shop down in the description box and support a small company. I think they're pretty small. So that's what I'm wearing today. As promised last week, I made the motif for the June entry in the crochet calendar that we're looking at. Some of us are working on this. I know Pamela's Adoring Crochet actually made something out of this particular motif. I did not make anything out of it. I just wanted to make it and show it to you. This is the pattern for the spring rainbow blanket, and it's very, very pretty. It's basically a white blanket with some little flowers in the middle that are all different colors. And you'll see when I show you the motif, it's very easy to make if you know how to make a popcorn stitch. And the starting popcorn stitch, you can find it on Google. It is not written in this pattern. I think that would have been a nice addition to this pattern if the designer had quickly described how to do a starting popcorn stitch and then how to do her popcorn stitch. I just went out to Google and I found it. I think I did it for another pattern that was in here as well. I had a starting popcorn stitch, and I wasn't really sure what that was, but what it is a popcorn stitch is generally 5 double crochets, but you can do several numbers or different numbers of stitches, but mostly it's a double crochet. A starting popcorn is a chain 3 and then the number of crochets in your popcorn minus 1. So one of those stitches will be a 3 chain, and then the rest will be double crochet. So if you have a 5 popcorn stitch that you're using in your pattern, the starting popcorn stitch would be 3 chains and then 4 double crochet. That would be the only thing I would change about this pattern, because it is a very good pattern. I went through the whole thing and everything was correct. Her name is Mandy O'Sullivan, who actually designed this. But Mandy, I would add that to your pattern. Other than that, it was very easy to read. I like written patterns. They're my very favorite. I don't need a chart although I'd like to learn to use one. I have used one a few times, but for something complicated like a fancy granny square or something like that, it is nice to have a chart, but I did not need one for this particular pattern. Now, let's look at this. This is the motif that I made, and all these right here are popcorn stitches, and then the rounds are done with a back post, and it adds a ridge to each row right there. I really like that. See that ridge right there? That really made it different. And then these are larger than normal, so they really stand out when you hold it up. And I can see why an afghan out of this would be very, very pretty. This is cotton thread, and I used an H hook as it said in the pattern, and I used Lion Brand 24/7 cotton. I used the white, and I don't know what color the blue this is. I've lost my band. I rarely ever do that, but I looked and looked, I couldn't find it. So I just picked out a color from my stash. I have pinks and blues and greens and mint. I love that color too, but I decided on the blue. I thought that would be nice for the center of the motif. So again, this is the June pattern from the Crochet Calendar, Crochet Patterns. Really like this calendar. I hope they put out another one next year. That'll be so much fun. But we do have several YouTubers working on this. Jennifer at Cinnamon Stitches is doing one, and Pamela's Adoring Crochet, and there's several of us also that are working on these. So just to show you what's in the calendar and give our opinion about how it worked out and what we would do with this. Now again, this would be, I would probably use I might use like a DK Stylecraft, maybe Stylecraft DK yarn, and make an afghan out of this. It would go really fast and it would be nice and soft. This is not soft, this is cotton. This might be okay for maybe a baby blanket, but it's not really soft enough for me. I wouldn't think that would be soft enough. I'm going to show you my craft table. I'm going to use my big crochet hook as a pointer. So I have my lights on over here, and I wanted to show you the progress I've made. Now if you can imagine this, this is the bottom of the diamond painting that I'm doing. This is a very large painting, and there are the two figures in the painting, and then up here is the top. So I have done all the way up to the top on one column, and I'm starting on column number 2, so you can see it's a little bit wider here, and I'm up to right there on my diamond painting. And so right here I will be working on this probably this afternoon or tomorrow. This is the next set of symbols that I have to cover with drills right there. You can see where I ended over there. And this is the, I don't know what part it is. There's so much confetti here, and I'm going to zoom down and show you what I mean. This is confetti right here. See all these different colors? Those take a lot of time to do. Not like the girl with the pearl earring, which had a lot of color blocking, which is like solid colors all around her face. This is confetti, and generally the whole thing is confetti. Look at this. Every single square that I uncover is just confetti. Look at that. It's amazing. But when you step back, as an impressionist style, you can see that it becomes much clearer as you step back. So I wanted to show you that. Now for the storage. I promised I would tell you what kind of storage I'm using for these drills. This is CraftMates Lockables, and I bought this at Michael's. And what it is a really nice case that has a closure on it, and then it comes with these long storage units, and each one of them has 7 little boxes on it that are connected. Now here's what they look like. This is one I have open right now. This is my number 1. See, there it is, number 1. I have the symbol on there. I have each one of them labeled. There's number 2, and I have number 3 open. And how you open this is you press this purple button on the left. See it down there at the bottom? You press it in, flip up the color that you want to open, and there it is right there. That's the color I'm doing next, and the color is number 3, and the symbol is the small letter G. And that's how I know what I'm doing. When I go over here to my painting and I find a small G, that is the color that I put on those particular little squares. Now what I'm doing here is I'm only using one color at a time, obviously, so I pour that out into a tray and use it at one at a time. But I wanted to show you that you can't open any of these without pushing in on that little purple button right there. See it? Little purple button. And what that does is it locks up your drills, and your dog or your cat or your young children couldn't get in there to it unless they know how to open it with that purple button. Anyway, I'm not as thrilled with this as I would like to be. I have to store them like this to get to them, because if I put them in this purple storage container, this is what it looks like. It's CraftMates, and it has these two closures here, and inside are two big plastic areas here that you slide this open and you put your colors in there like that. You put your different color containers in there, and it's too hard to work out of. I don't like working out of this at all, so I don't use this. I just use a plastic bin, and I put the colors in there, just stack them in there, and when I'm looking for a color I can see the numbers on the different storage containers. So that's how I have it set up here. And then over here, this is my Michael's storage bin. It rolls, see, it rolls around, and I can adjust it how I want it to be. And I cleaned this all up, and I organized my painting pens and my magnifying glass, some ends for some multi-placers, and just other things that I have in here. And I wanted to show you that because you can be organized. And what these are the reason I like these is that they roll. So you can roll these around. I have another one over here with all my cross stitch stuff in it. I roll that around as well. So I'm able to be pretty efficient in my craft room. I like it. I like working in here. Mr. On the Hook was in here this weekend helping me be organized, and what we did was we moved my harp over here, and then I set up this area right here, and this area is going to be for a paint by number collaboration I'm doing with Crafties. So I'm all ready to go. I've got my little stool here, and I have my easel, which is a floor easel. I don't know how well this is going to work. And then I cleaned off this table right here, and I'm going to use that to set my paints on. So I'm all ready for that. It should be arriving this week, and I'll show you that in my next video. So again, there's my craft room and some progress I've made on my diamond painting. Okay, we're back, and let's talk about the soft linen tee. This is the tee that I'm working on. Here's the front. I've already done the back, so I'm working my way up to the neckline, and I won't be too long till I get there, and then I'll start that special yoke, the stitch pattern that I'm using for the yoke all the way around, front and back. And I'm working on this with an H hook, and that seems to have worked out best for me. I thought about using a larger hook, but I want it to be not see-through, so that's how it's going to appear. I believe it's going to be okay. So there we go. That's the whip progress on my soft linen tee. The other whip that I'm working on crochet-wise is the Summertime Cardi, which we'll talk about here in just a couple minutes. We have a giveaway to do for that, but it's the Summertime Cardi, and this is crocheted with Malabrigo worsted yarn. It's very, very soft. I like it. It's a beautiful color. This color is called Violetus. It's very beautiful, 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 deep, rich purple violet color, I guess. And I like it. It's very beautiful. Now, I've made some progress on this. This is going to be a cardi, and it's going to be a little bit smaller in the front. It's not going to come way over like that. It's going to come back right here. And the back is the same size. I don't know if I made a mistake doing that, but I think it's going to be okay. The back is the same size as my original. And here it is. This is what it looks like. I have a little bit of design element down here at the bottom, and then the rest of it is just color pooling. So beautiful. I really love Malabrigo yarn. Some of my very favorite yarns. So that is how far I've gotten. Maybe about 10 inches. And I'll probably go ahead and finish the back this week. Hopefully I'll be done with the back, and I can start the two front pieces and then put it together and have a Summertime Cardi. So of course I'll need some sleeves in there too, but I'm working diligently on those two crochet whips. This week we are giving away a pattern and the yarn to make that pattern. This is the flex yarn that we've talked about many times. This is bought from Michaels. It's Loops and Threads. And I bought the soft gray. I think that's what it's called. It's called light gray. Beautiful, beautiful yarn. It has some purple and yellow flecks in there. And I made the Summertime Cardi from this, and there's a picture of it right there. That's what it looks like. And I also, instead of the blue, I also wear it with a purple tank top, and it looks really pretty. So this is the Summertime Cardi pattern. I have printed it off on really nice paper. It's in plastic, and this will go to the winner of the giveaway, along with two skeins of flex, which is way more than you need, so you can make something out of the rest of it. But the key word here was Cardi, C-A-R-D-I, because we're making the Summertime Cardi out of this. So let's turn the camera to the computer and find out who wins these 2 skeins and the pattern. Right now we're looking at my computer, and this is the URL from last Monday, and the word that was the keyword is Cardi, C-A-R-D-I. So let's find out how many comments we had with that particular word. And let's see here, 386. Okay, gosh, y'all are great. Thank you for participating. This is a fun giveaway because it's everything you need to make the Summertime Cardi. So let's find out who wins the 2 skeins and the pattern this week. And that would be Patricia Skates. Patricia Skates. And there's the word Cardi in her comment. So Patricia, you are the winner of the 2 balls of flex yarn and the pattern. Congratulations. Now for next week, I'm giving away 3 magazines. I have 3 magazines that are brand new, the newest editions of Crochet Magazine, Crochet World, and just Cross Stitch. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a keyword for the Crochet magazines and a keyword for the Cross Stitch magazine. Now, if you are not a cross stitcher, then you will not want to put the cross stitch keyword in your comment. But you can put a comment in for all 3 magazines, or if you don't want the cross stitch magazine, don't use the keyword for that. Just use the keyword for the other 2. I'll try to explain it a little bit in a minute. This is the newest edition of Crochet World. Love this magazine. This is probably my favorite crochet magazine, although they're all very, very good. This is moving into fall, and they're using fall colors here, not very strong colors, but they are fall colors. And their projects are not geared for cold weather, but cool weather. And this is a page that shows all the different patterns that are in this book. And you have blankets, placemats, pillows, and there's a poncho pattern in here that I'm not extremely wild about right there. It's just a big square, but it is cute. I mean, they have it sewn on the sides, I believe. And it's probably extremely easy to make. And then they have, like I said, some placemats in here. Just a lot of different things that you can make. And I like this magazine again because they're sent out quite often. I think they're sent out every 2 months. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong about that. This is the August 2021 edition right here. This is the August 2021. And again, it is kind of a light autumn. It's not for cold weather. One pattern that I wanted to focus on for this particular magazine is the Serenity Blanket. And this is a beautiful blanket. And what it is a jewel tone crochet sampler throw is what they call it. And what it is every row is a different stitch. And that is a great way to learn new crochet stitches and to make it into something that you can actually use. So an afghan made with different crochet stitches. I think that's very interesting the way they did that. And they've probably worked it out so that the stitches don't pull, you know, if some are smaller than others. So I'm sure they took that into consideration. But I do like that. And there are lots of other patterns in here. Now the poncho that I talked about is here. And this is not solidly stitched. There's some large stitches in there, and I think that looks very interesting. I wouldn't hesitate to make it if I just wanted to make a poncho. What we have here is the broomstick lace tutorial, and it's using broomstick lace. That's why the stitches are large, and they show you how to do it using a large knitting needle right there. So that's a nice facet of this particular magazine. There are a lot of good things in here. This is the Crochet World, and I'll give this away next week. The keyword is crochet, C-R-O-C-H-E-T, and I will show you again. The word is crochet, C-R-O-C-H-E-T, and that is the keyword for being in the giveaway for this particular magazine. Also use the same keyword for this magazine. This is the Crochet, and sponsored by Annie's. I believe that's the Defining Crochet is the name of her magazine, and this is a fall magazine as well. It says autumn of 2021. Some beautiful colors in there as well. There are really nice patterns in here. Some of them are not as easy as the others, the Crochet magazine. Here's a nice tunic that is called the Arcilla Tunic. Right there. That's pretty. See how long that is? That's really pretty. It's a little long for me. I like shorter things, but I'm a short person, so that's why. Some really pretty tunics in here. Several tunics. There's also a Hampshire pocket scarf in here. This is made with huge yarn. I think it's number 5 bulky. Pretty sure that's what that's made from. And that's a very substantial pocket scarf. I like that because it looks like it would hold up. And with the stitches that are used and the materials that they use Lion Brand Hue Plus Me Bulky, which is a number 5 yarn. And of course you could use any number 5 yarn you want. But that is a really cute pocket shawl. Let me show that again. That is the Hampshire pocket scarf. That's really cute. I like that. You just throw that over your shoulders if it's cool and you have pockets to put your phone in or whatever. So this is the second crochet magazine that will go out next week to a different winner, but both from the same comment. All right. Now, if you like cross stitch or you know somebody who does, I have a cross stitch magazine here with lots of great patterns in it, and here's a look at all the patterns that are in here. I looked through this the other day, and I tell you, if I was a cross stitcher, again, I would love to make some of these little designs. They're so pretty, and all the patterns are in here. So if you bought all these patterns separately, and most cross stitch I think are paid for patterns. I don't know, maybe they're not, but this is an exercise in restraint. I would have to, because if I was a cross stitcher, I'd want to do a lot of these, and I'm a crocheter, so I really don't have a lot of time for cross stitch. This is the giveaway, so let's talk about this. This is the cross stitch magazine, just cross stitch for August of 2021. August of 2021. And so they're still in the summer mode. They're still doing summer things, and the keyword for this is cross, C-R-O-S-S. So if you are interested in this magazine, use the word cross in your comment. You can use both words, the word crochet and cross, if you want a chance at both types of magazines, any of the three. Or if you're not interested in cross stitch, just leave that word out of your comment. Don't put the word cross in your comment. Use the word crochet. So everyone will be in the group that I pick from. But depending on your keyword, if you don't use the word cross, then when I pick the cross stitch magazine, you won't be in there. You see what I mean? So if you're interested in any one of the three, use the words crochet and cross. If you're just interested in the crochet magazine, put the word crochet. Just interested in the cross stitch magazine, just use the word cross, and that will get you in the right giveaway. So those will be the 3 magazines going out next week to 3 lucky winners. So that's exciting for me. I like giving away magazines. They're easy to mail, they're quick to mail, and you can and they're very, very useful in your hobby because they give you lots of great ideas. I love magazines for my hobbies. I love to look through magazines for that. Just only pick a crochet project or a cross stitch project or a diamond painting project that is interesting to you, that is something that you really love to look at, because if you don't, you won't finish it. You just won't finish it. So there we go. That is the show for today. I think I'll leave it right there. Thank you for joining me. If you haven't subscribed, please do. If you have subscribed, please make sure that you press the little bell. Some people say they're not getting my notifications, so be sure to check that just to be sure it's on. And then like this video before you click away. Please like it, so that will help me just a little bit. and then share it with a friend. If you have a friend that cross stitches, crochets, or diamond paints, you can share this with them, and it might be fun, to talk about it with each other. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week. I plan to do the same, hopefully some crafty things that I'll get done this week, and I'll be back later in the week, maybe Friday. And if you don't see me, I'll be back on Monday, and we'll do our giveaway, and we'll talk about more crafty things. So join me then to find out what's on the hook.